Okay. Well, here we are
Plan.
live. We're
Oh, we are
live.
live.
Yes, we are.
Okay, happy
Thank you.
Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. All right, I'm Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, president, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. I'm also a certified tax coach. I'm out of breath because I've been working out.
That don't match.
I've been working out. Starting my workout routine. I'm getting ready to get into this thing, man. I gotta
You're
get
out of
back.
breath
So,
because you need to work out.
no, I just can't go upstairs with the Henderson Financial Group upstairs studio. Our studio is upstairs, what I tell you. But it's good. Keeps us in shape. Okay. And this is my beautiful, wonderful daughter who set everything up. Hyacinth Renee Henderson. So I'm gonna say Renee, Hyacinth Renee Henderson. Had to put that. I couldn't say Hyacinth Robert Henderson. So, her mother said, "Come on, come on." So I had to put the R in there. So I said Renee. All right. Hyacinth. We call her Hyacinth.
People call me High C now too.
Yeah, that's good. It's short. I'm a Hyacinth.
Because
Most people don't
your
even know
daddy
what
calls
Hyacinth
you
is.
High C, so we can call you High C.
That's right. It's good. Down to earth. High C. My name is Hyacinth, like a flower. And then I got another named Jasmine, like a flower too. Then I got one named Tempest, like a storm. Whoa, I changed those names.
We are the Henderson Financial Group. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. You are tuned into Transitions, Life Lessons, and Legacy.
I already said that.
We join you every Wednesday when we are available and we talk mindsets,
Yes,
progress, and things like that. I am Hyacinth Henderson. The name of our firm is the Henderson Financial Group. The Henderson Financial Group. We are based in Miami, Florida. We have been doing this for over 30 years. My father started the firm over 30 years. I've been here over 20 years. And we love what we do. Still by trade, I am a licensed stockbroker, an investment advisor representative, an annuity and insurance broker, and I serve as the firm's co-CEO. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
I am Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach. I've been in the financial service business for about 37 years. I love what I do with full service financial planning. And our motto is, we help you to create your future in the present.
We help you bring your present future into the present now.
Man, first day of me starting to work out, boy, I tell you,
you have a lot going on.
That Spanish, oh my God, GPS. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm pretty excited about it. But I have a goal. That's why it makes me happy. And we discovered that most people, your problem is most people financial problem. Oh, I would say I think it's bigger than financial problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just being focused and not drifting. Most people take for granted that they don't have a real goal. And I shouldn't say a goal. You got to constantly have more than one goal, because after you accomplish that goal, you got to constantly fill your life with goal setting, and then you have to constantly reinvent yourself, because you can't stay the same way, because you have to continue to develop and grow. And I think that, matter of fact, I know that the American educational system wasn't designed for that, to help us to realize ourselves and who we are and how powerful we are and how to use our minds. They basically wanted to have some trained servants, basically, go to college, learn skills and help the rich get richer. Don't even go to college or learn how to create and build your own, but actually go and work for someone and beg for a job so that you can see how much they'll pay you. And that's what the American system is. And now we're finding out that doesn't work. We should have found out a long time ago, but it doesn't work for everybody. 95% of the people follow that routine, and haven't gotten them anywhere. And that's why they're broke, busted, and disgusted, and miserable, and haven't saved any money for retirement. They definitely don't have enough money to continue their standard of living throughout their lifetime. They really don't. And that's because we've been following that blueprint, which is awful. So now we want to talk about changing the blueprint, how we feel that the secret to creating prosperity is to have goals, constant goals, different goals, and to be focused. What do you say, my daughter?
I love that.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're right on track. I love the way that you put it. And to go a little deeper than having goals, which is a great start, because a lot of people don't have goals, is after you set your goals, you must create a plan.
Yes.
You must create a plan. And so I'm pushing back my 1:30. That's why I'm on the phone. And they said, yes, they can do it. Okay, phenomenal. So now I can be in tuned, in presence, and here.
Well,
All right.
that's
So
so good.
yeah, I think so too.
Yes.
I think so too. It's important to be present. But goal setting and creating goals and thinking about goals is one side of the coin. The other side of that coin is plan.
Yes.
Is creating plans for the goals.
Right.
And I love that you started with creating goals and setting goals, because the majority of the population don't even think about their own personal goals.
No.
They may think about goals, if at all, in the form of what's required of them at work.
Right.
Finishing, getting through the day. My goal is to finish my workday so at 4:59 I can leave. My goal is to drop the kids off to school. My goal, small things like that, but they aren't really intentional or thinking about larger goals as it relates to their life. So I love that you started this conversation talking about goals. And for those of you who are out there listening, I want you to drop a 1 in the comment section if you have goals right now, not goals that are in your head, but goals that you have actually written down.
Right.
Like you have actually pulled out a pen and paper and said, you know what, this is my goal for the next quarter. This is my goal for 2023. These are my goals. And if you aren't in that space, allow this to be a little nudge to you to say, you know what, if I want to change my life, maybe I'll implement this.
Yes. Because you need to have a map. You need to have a blueprint. You need to have instructions. You need to have that so you can accomplish your goal. Other than that, you're going to drift.
Yeah, that's where the plan comes in.
Yes.
Yeah. So start with the goal, and then after you create the goals and you think about it, and really to get to the space of understanding what your goals are, you have to do some reflecting.
Yes.
And let's start there, because we all know that a lot of people don't like to reflect.
Right. So if you say that you want to be financially wealthy, you want to be able to, the income that you require, how much money do you need a month? And you want to be able to earn that amount of money without getting out of bed. What do you have to do? So if let's just say your overhead expense is $6,000 a month. What can you do to generate $6,000 a month passively, or some sort of business or some activity where you're going to be able to do, or not having activity, but let your assets work for you where they'll actually give you passive income of $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month, and setting a goal toward that, and setting a plan toward that. But like you said, Icy, you got to have the goal. What do you want? And I think that's a that's a tall question for most people.
Yeah, because it requires them to reflect. So using your example, if someone says, my overhead expenses are $6,000 a month, and I want to be able to cover that $6,000 a month without me having to do the most, without me having to work 80 hours a week, I want to be able to cover $6,000 a month. The first thing you have to do is reflect.
You got to look at where you are.
Exactly. That's the first thing that you have to do, is reflect and say, where am I? What am I doing? And in your reflection process, you may realize that you're actually bringing in $8,000 a month.
Right.
Or you may realize that you're bringing in $2,000 a month or $4,000 a month. Right. So let's talk about the person whose overhead expenses are $6,000 a month. They don't want to work very hard. They don't want to work 80 hours a week. And they've done some reflecting and says, wow, looking at all my sources of income, I'm actually bringing in $8,000 a month. But at the end of every month, my checking account is negative. At the end of every month, I'm looking at my savings and investments. I have not added to them since Kingdom came and gone. Right. So deepening the reflection part is going to look like you sitting down and saying, where am I spending my money? If I'm bringing in $8,000 a month and I only need $6,000 a month to keep the heat and the water on, right? And everything else, but just shortening it. If I only need $6,000, why at the end of every month does it feel like I don't have any money? And that reflection process, that review process, is where a lot of people look. They do like this. They peek and they close it.
Why do you think that is?
Oh my God!
Why do you think they close it?
Because it's so exactly. It's easy to talk about everybody else and to blame everybody else and what this person is doing and that person in the system and my job and my baby daddy and my ex-husband and my children and all this. It's so easy to talk about others and their shortcomings or their faults or what they should be doing. But when it comes time to look at yourself and peek, like you put the lid back on that thing so fast.
So you think a lot of people really don't want to know the truth? indirectly.
They can't. I agree. I would say, wasn't that in the movie? You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. I think a lot of people don't realize their aversion to the truth.
Yeah.
That they have an aversion to the truth because guess what? The truth is uncomfortable.
No, it really is. And
Uh-huh.
it really is. And you can't grow unless you realize that.
But in order for you to grow and accomplish your goals and live by the plan, you first must reflect.
Yes.
You first must have that moment of truth with yourself.
Being true to thyself.
Yeah.
You know, but because when you think about it, and I want you all, as we talk, and I want you to reflect and look at your own life and your own feelings. You know, you don't have to let anybody know. You can look in the mirror or just talk to yourself. I mean, working 9 to 5, working for the county, the state, or whatever, whoever your post office or whatever, that's already in place. You're gonna get up and you're gonna go to work and you're gonna leave there. You get your paycheck and you go through the same routine you've been going through. But that's not really a goal. You still need doing that. That's second nature. You've been doing that. So you've been doing it for some years. But now you need to say, okay, I need to be able to set a goal and to set a plan toward that. And I think that, matter of fact, I know that if you do that, you'll be way ahead of the game. Because wealthy people, in order to stay wealthy, you've got to continue to plan. You have got to have goals. And you got to set those goals, not just one goal. You got to set a goal. That's why you have projects that you have to meet, you accomplishing them, and then you put everything in it. And then everybody who you need in order to make that goal come to fruition, that's who you have time for. You don't have a whole lot of time for crazy, stupid stuff that's not pertaining to your goal and accomplishing your goal. You're on a task force. The problem is most people don't have nothing. You call it 9 to 5, which out of 24 hours in a day, you work just 8 hours, and I don't know what happens to the other 16. Okay, you work 8 hours and you sleep 8 hours, and the other 8 hours they just lost. That's what you call it, just scattered. You know, you can't find it. You don't know what happened. You know, maybe it's TV time or whatever. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna give people the benefit of the doubt, and I don't do this often. I'm gonna give the listeners the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what, Miss Anderson, we never thought about it the way that you're putting it, right? So we thought that holding a job was it.
No.
And there are a lot of people who feel that way, and it's okay, right? That's why you're watching this, right? So you thought that holding a job was it, and so you're doing your 9 to 5, and you're going home, and then you have at least 8 to 10 hours of other time, because most of y'all ain't sleeping 8 hours. You have 8 to 10 hours of other time to do something else, but you don't know what it is that you need to do, or could be doing, or should be doing. One goal that everyone who's watching this should have and should think about and write down today is your retirement goal. And I know retirement is one of those words that people either love it or hate it. People love when they talk about retirement, when they think about the idea of never having to work again. Like, oh, yes, we love retirement. I want to retire. One day I'm going to retire. I'm going to be on my yacht and I'm going to do all this. And they want to talk about retirement then. But when you start talking about retirement planning, for some people, that's where they close the book, right? So for everyone who's out there listening, and as Mr. Henderson is saying, you have your 9 to 5 job and you can do more after that. The first goal that I want you to think about is to think about what is your retirement goal. And this is very important because every day, every week at the Henderson Financial Group, we get people who call us and they say, I am ready to retire. I'm ready to retire. Remember, this is the part that everybody wants to talk about. I'm ready to not work again anymore. And so we're like, all right, you ready to retire? We're ready to help you retire.
Yes, yes.
And we go to look at your numbers and we say, what do you mean you ready to retire? Are you mentally ready to retire, but you're not logically ready to retire? And so it becomes evident that a lot of people have done exactly what Mr. Henderson is saying. They go to work 9 to 5, go to work 9 to 5, and they look at that like, I am doing something good. I've accomplished this. I am accomplishing this goal of going to work. They're accomplishing the goal of holding a job.
Right.
And that's it. And they have not moved the needle forward to set another goal to how is my life going to look when I retire.
But you know, the thing about it is, Heisha, I'm glad you're saying this. Two things going on in a person's life. Most people are focused on a retirement date, but they leave out life, their expectancy lifetime.
Life expectancy.
That's right.
Absolutely.
A retirement date and life expectancy, two different things. A retirement date where you're not going to produce any more income, you don't work for the man or the woman. That's totally different from your expected lifetime age. Do you know each and every one of us right now, how old you are? There is whatever you're man or woman, they've assigned an expected lifetime age for each and every one of us. Do you know that? Do you know if your money is going to last even after retirement? Because at the retirement, you reach that retirement goal, but now you're not working anymore. Do you have enough to live your certain lifestyle until you get ready to leave here? What if you got another 20, 30 more years after retire? Because most people, when they retire, they don't want to die. So retirement is not the end. Remember, when you retire, that means you don't have any more income. You're not gainfully employed. So now you got to get to the finish line and to death. That may be 20, 30, 40 years from now. Especially if you retire and you're 55 years old, you could easily hit 90. Do you have enough money without working to last you that lifetime? And remember now, the cost of things and goods and services are not stopping because you retire. Just because you retire and you get no more money, those costs of good, inflation, stuff, can of milk, gas, everything continue to go up. Light bills, it's going to continue to go up.
What you're saying beautifully illustrates the topic, the title of today's show, which is having a plan is your secret weapon. Because as you stated in the beginning of the show, having a goal is not enough.
Right.
And many people have the goal of retiring. I want to retire, but they have no plan.
Right.
They have no plan. And we're using retirement because we know that this is something that each and every one of you under the sound of our voices can relate to. Because I have yet to speak to anyone except for my daddy who says they're going to work forever. Like, I'm going to be doing this forever. And y'all, he always says he's going to be doing this for another 30 years.
Yeah.
Last week, I was at a conference, at a digital assets conference. And the gentleman that I was sitting next to, y'all guess how old he was? Y'all guess, put in the comments, put in the comment section, and we'll come back to that. But as I was stating, most people on here don't have the desire to work forever. And so that's the goal. The goal is one day I'm going to stop working. But the plan part is, what are you going to do when you stop working? Meaning, how are you going to survive?
Right.
Are you going to be able to maintain your current standard of living?
Right.
When that you have now when you're in retirement, when you stop working? Because the reality of it is no one wants to work for 30, 40, 50 years and then get to retirement and say, okay, now I'm retired and now I want to start eating ramen noodles and beanies and weenies and I don't want to go anywhere. Nobody says that, right?
Right.
So this is very important for you to not only have the goal for retirement, but also to create the plan. Mia, you got it spot on. I wish I had a gift for you, girl. 83.
Wow.
Did I say that? Did you say that last week?
No,
you didn't. Good job. Call me. I got to gift you something.
We're going to play a lot of numbers.
That was fun. He's 83.
What did he say?
Everything.
And he was in a cryptocurrency
digital assets conference.
Wow, he's 83.
83, and he was right there. We minted NFTs together, and he got his phone and scanned, and I had to help him a little bit with the phone part, but he was taking notes. He had his recorder. 83 years old. Wow. So when I saw that, I met him on the first day. I was like, oh, my daddy on to something.
I told you.
I thought you just be saying you're gonna do this for another 30 years. I didn't know you was like true to it. But 83 sitting next to me told me
yes,
he was a physical manifestation that you could be 83 and really, and he was moving and grooving and everything.
He was in that conference. I was in the other conference, and this guy, he's 80 years old, and I said, "You gonna retire?" He says, "No." He asked me how old I was, and I told him. He says, "Oh, you're just a baby." Yeah, he was 80.
Oh my goodness!
And he was like, "Nah, he can touch his toes and everything." He was like, "Nah."
Wow,
it's a mindset, you know.
It's a mindset thing. So, but most people don't want to work forever. You don't want to do what you're doing forever, and so the goal is one day to not be able to do that. However, you fall short because you don't create a plan. And so we started talking about retirement planning, but the topic of this show is really to impress upon you the importance of you having a plan, because you can have a number of goals. What do they say? A goal without a plan is just a wish.
That's right.
It's just a good idea. It's just, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. You get a truck. I'm going to do all of this, but you don't have a plan. And here's the importance of the plan, because when you have a plan, It is like your roadmap. It tells you what you need to be doing every single day.
And it helps you. It helps. It's like a guardrail. It tells you can't go buy those red bottom shoes for $1,500 because that's gonna intercept and mess up your compound interest where you should be putting that money somewhere else. You know what I mean? I mean, it really tells you what you can do, what you can't do.
And it tells you your goals and your plan dictate what you're going to be doing day in and day out. It dictates how you're going to be spending your money. It dictates how you spend your free time. It dictates your friends. Your plan and your goals dictate all of that for you. So if you find yourself drifting,
Right.
it is because you don't have a plan.
Right. It's like saying, Heisen, you and I, let's go to New York and we go get airline tickets. Okay. Now tomorrow is Thursday, right? And we say, okay, we're gonna go. Now all of a sudden you say, okay, I'm gonna go to Washington. And then I said, you can't go to Washington because we got tickets to go to New York. Now, if you say, forget that, I'm just going to Washington, that's helter skelter.
Right.
You're drifting.
Right.
You know, we don't
saying one thing, doing another.
Right. So when you have a plan, you have goals, you say, okay, I'm trying to do this, I'm doing that. You have a layout, it's a map. And I tell you, most Americans don't have that. Most Americans just go and do the routine and they go to work and they get a paycheck and they pay their bills and they eat and go to restaurants and they sleep and whatever they want to do for entertainment, and that's it. But that's not a goal. That's why 95% of people have never been taught what we're talking about, never even thought about it. You got to have goals, because what it does is it concentrates your mind. You don't have time for foolishness. And then it tells you what you can spend and what you can't. If I say, listen, you got to save $1,500 a month in order to meet your goal, in order to be wealthy, in order to, after you retire, and for you to have the same lifestyle or even better than when you was working and live your life expectancy. So your life expectancy is going to be 95 years old. So after you retire, you'll have enough money to live until age 95, travel, have a good time. But what you got to do, you got to save $1,500 a month. And if you say, okay, I can do that. If you can't do that, I'll tell you exactly. If you can't do that, I'll tell you how much you have to reduce your lifestyle, okay, in order to make that happen. What do you have to give up? And either you're going to say, yeah, I want to give it up so I can have this, or you can say, nah, I'm just going to run into dirt. but at least you will know. And most people don't even have that information because they don't have a goal. You got to take care of me, myself, and I. The government ain't doing it, man. You see the Republicans and Democrats fighting them. Who gonna get the money? Who's gonna help out? And we're getting more closer to the haves and the have-nots. It's not getting the better according to scriptures. Scripture says that the rich gonna get rich and the poor get poor, and that's what's been happening. You see what's going on. So you got to take care of me, myself, and I. You cannot just continue to follow the crowd and do what everybody else do. You got to know something that you did not know before. How do you get that information? You got to call the Henderson Financial Group. We got plenty of information that you did not even know that you did not even know that you didn't know.
305-825-1444.
That's right. 305-825-1444.
Yes. So the thing with this is, I like that we're having this conversation because I know that it is raising awareness for a group of people. There are a group of people who did not know, and we don't want to say if they should have known or if it was right or if it was wrong, but I know that there were a group of people who just said, you know what, all that I was taught is to get a job, get good health insurance, and don't do drugs.
That's right.
Right. And maybe here's an extra, maybe I was also taught that because my employer has benefits, that to put some money into my employer sponsored retirement plan, to put money into my 401k. And so that's what I've been doing, Mr. Henderson. That's what I've been doing, Hyacinth. And so now you're telling me that because I have been doing what they told me to do, I'm going to run out of money 3 years after I retire. Well, how is that so? Right. So we recognize that there is a group of people and you may fall into that group. And if you do, don't be down on yourself. Take action. Now is the time to take action. Like, okay, this makes sense, because we see it every day. We see people who have, first of all, let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about your 401ks, your employer sponsored retirement plans, your 403bs, your 457s, things like that. First of all, the money that you see in that account is not your money. There's a difference between what you see and what you have. So if let's just say for numbers sake, your 401k You look at your statement and you're like, oh, I'm looking at this statement and they're saying that I have $500,000 in there.
Right.
No, you see $500,000. You don't have $500,000. We have to be very clear about this. And most people are surprised. No matter how many times we say this, most people are still surprised. Just because you see $500,000 or $1,000,000 in your statement, you do not have $1,000,000.
No.
You know why you don't have $1,000,000? Because Uncle Sam has some of that money.
And has the right to tell you how much of it they want.
Whenever they get ready. You want me to tell you what that's called? That's called tax law changes. Oh, we're raising taxes. But wait a minute. I didn't know last year, 2 years ago, I was taking 15%. This was what the tax rate was. Now you've increased the tax rate. Now I'm in the 28%. So now I'm looking at this number and you get to tell me based on what y'all doing in the White House or wherever else y'all are, how much of my money you're going to take. It's not your money. So that in itself is a grand realization that a lot of people need to have and don't have until it's too late. So you get here and you're like, well, I did everything they told me to do. I held a job. I contributed. This is what I have. This is what they say is mine in my statement. And I say, this is not what you have. This is what you see.
Right.
There's a difference between what you see and what you have. So knowing this information, now we need to come up with a plan. And the number one plan is, it feels like this is a retirement planning show. And I guess it wasn't supposed to be that, but it is being exactly what it needs to be, right?
Segues into it.
Right. It's being exactly what it needs to be because there is somebody out there who needs to understand this and needs to get this message. And we started talking about retirement because most people can relate to not wanting to work anymore, right? So now that you think about, okay, Mr. Henderson and Hyacinth, I'm hearing what you all are saying. Let me now reflect. If you go back and watch the beginning of the show, we talked about the fact that you cannot reasonably set goals and create a plan without first reflecting.
You know, I've always said, Hyacinth, you've always heard me say that, I'm going to continue to work and continue.
Oh, yeah.
You've always, and as my daughter, you've always seen me busy.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
No days off.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, to me, I don't know why y'all don't feel like it. But
y'all?
Yeah. I don't know why people don't think like me in terms of there is never a time where I don't want to make more money. Just think about what that means. just that right there. There is, if you ever ask me anytime, I'm 10 years old, or if I'm 75 years old, or if I'm 80 years old, Henderson, do you want to make more money? Or do you want to make some money? My answer always gonna be yes. It's gonna always be yes. I can't even see myself saying, nah, I don't want no more money. I cannot see myself saying that. So therefore, if I feel like that, I can never say, nah, I don't want more. I don't want no more money. The only way I can say I don't want no more money is if I'm dead. That's the way I see the world. That's the way I see it. Okay. Now, when I say it to you, because some people work for the man, work for the government, or work post office, whatever. We're not talking about retiring from there, because some, like you're a doctor, you're a surgeon. You can't be a surgeon at 90 years old. Most of them, they get laws. Even airline pilots, the same thing. But I'm saying gainfully employed. I'm not talking about wherever you're firefireman. You got to retire sometime. They got limits. I'm not saying that. I'm saying gainfully employed, earning income. As long as I can breathe, I want to be earning more, whether it's passively, I want to, because the things cost of service and goods that when I went to the I want to buy some. You
want to buy something?
I went to the post office. And I hadn't looked at the price of a stamp in a very long time. Mm-hmm. And we was mailing out some stuff for the office, like some birthday cards or something. Mm-hmm. And I did not know that the stamps cost 63 cents.
Wow.
You were like, am I detecting you didn't know that either?
Well, here's the thing. I have forever stamps in my drawer. I have a drawer full of forever stamps. Do you know what the difference of forever stamps is?
Yeah, they're forever.
Right.
But I went and paid for one. I had to get 35 stamps.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were 63 cents a
Yeah,
stamp either.
63
I didn't know that either.
cents. You know that?
No, I didn't know.
And
I remember they were like 30 cents. I think that's
I
my
remember last
last
time I
recollection.
really
Maybe
counted
45
it
cents.
was like 42 cents.
Yeah.
So I told the lady, I said, "What happened to the 50s? I missed out on the 50 cents, whatever." And she laughed.
Mhm.
That's 63 cents a stamp.
Mhm.
I remember a stamp was 10 cents. So back to what I'm saying. Things and stuff keep going up. Why would I ever get to a point where I'm like, no more money for me? I'm 90 years old. I still want to be earning money. So that's why I say I'm going to always be earning money.
Yes, I was gonna say because you can earn money without physically working.
Oh,
And I want you to keep working. I don't want you to sit at home because it keeps you sharp.
yes.
So I
Right.
want you to
Right.
be here
Right.
forever.
Creative. Right.
Yeah, so I want you to keep working. And I'm also
Right.
saying that you don't have to work as much or in the same way that you do when you get to a certain age. So we realize that there are people who may say, well, I don't want to retire like Mr. Henderson. I don't ever want to retire. And that's okay. It's okay if you never want to retire. But there has to become a point, there should become a point when you shift in life and you start to say, well, I'm going to have money coming in this way and I'm
Right.
no longer going to work that way.
That's right. And I like that.
And in order to do that, you have to have a plan.
That's what all of us should have.
Because if not, how is that going to become a reality? You don't go from working in the way that you're working now to saying, I still want income and I still want to do a little something, and this is what I want my income to be, but I have not planned and set goals and set steps to make that happen.
That's right. It's like if you got a driver's license,
Mm-hmm.
they require you to have a driver's license
Mhm.
in order to retire, in order to drive.
Mm-hmm.
They should require you to have a retirement strategy, a plan
Mm-hmm.
to continue to be gainfully earning money. All of us should have that. They don't give us that. They don't care about that. We should care about that because the clock just keep on ticking. Things and cost of goods and services continue to go up. They ain't going back. So since you know that you're grown now, you gotta have a plan. You gotta have a. You can't just let them. They're not going to do it for you. The system is not designed to do it for you. It's not, because even if you have a pension, you have a drop, and they're paying you $8,000 a month. In 20 years, whatever you're receiving right now, in 20 years, you got to double that. It's going to double. Between 20 and 22 years, everything doubles. So in other words, let's say you bought a house and it cost you $300,000. In 22 years, that house will be valued at least $600,000, hands down. That's just the way it is, and you got to understand that. So you can forecast 20 to 22 years what's going to be happening. So if you're just saying you're not going to be working, what do you think you either prospering going toward prosperity or you're dying going toward
Poverty.
There ain't no middle class. There's no middle. You either going that way or you going that way. You got to understand that. Now, you don't have to go get a college degree to understand what I just said. All you got to do is have an ear and some eyes to see and be able to play this YouTube and Facebook recording back. That's all you got to do. And it's going to be up here forever. And I want you to share it with some people because I'm telling you the God's truth. I'm telling you the truth. So help me God. If nobody's never told you, I'm telling you the truth. You gotta call 305-825-1444 so we can design. We got what they call a GPS, right, Isaac?
Yep.
What does that stand for? Well, GPS.
Something.
Is it
general? I should know this,
You
huh?
should know. That's what I thought you know. It's like when you use GPS. Most of us don't know how.
Something planning system.
Anymore.
It's a planning system. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Let me see.
You use GPS
Reminder.
if you want to go downtown, if you want to find out somebody's location, you just put it in your GPS.
Well, I know how to
There's
use
a
a
GPS that we have
Let me tell you.
for the plan, help you plan so you can have money that's going to last you, not just in retirement, but last you for your life expectancy. That's what you want. You want money to last you. Keep it with your life expectancy. Some people expect it to live here at 84 years old, 94 years old. If you call us, I can actually tell you what they have you down for your life expectancy. So,
GPS stands for Global Positioning System.
okay, so we have that now. But we have that now. We have a GPS for financial planning and strategy.
A
We can tell
global
you that.
positioning system. It will tell you your current position
That's right.
and the positions that you are heading into
That's
and
right.
what you need to do to get to position A.
We got that. that there. We got that. We got it for you. You
A
want
global
that.
positioning
You
system.
want that. You want that there. You want that.
And in practical terms, we understand that a global positioning system or a GPS is, we all use it from time to time in our phone. It's going to look at your present position, your current location. If you want to go to downtown Miami, if you want to go to Fort Lauderdale or Orlando and you don't know how to get there, you're going to put it in your global positioning system. And the first thing it's going to ask you is, where are you?
Right.
Do we want to use your current location? So when we use our financial GPS, the first thing we're going to do is look at where you are financially.
Where your money is.
Now, this is very important because there are still a few of you that call in, not very many these days because the word has gotten out, but there's still a few of you who call in and you don't want to talk about where you are right now. You don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about where you are. You just want to talk about, you want to get this $1 million. You just want to be at this stock and you just want to do these things. And I always bring you back to, this is what our intake sheets are about, y'all.
GPS.
Your global positioning system. Where are you right now? Just like your GPS in your car or on your phone, we need to know where you are.
So GPS in the car. If you say you want to go downtown, or if you want to go to Fort Lauderdale, if you want to go to Orlando, you can't just say take me there. I'm anywhere.
Well, no, because let's say it's having a system problem and it can't connect. If it says unable to connect, it's not going to be able to give you directions.
Right. You gotta know where
if you're getting a message that's saying unable to connect, that's code for saying I don't know where you at. How are we going to take you? So with our financial GPS,
that's what we have now.
And he's very excited about it.
I'm so excited. We got a financial GPS.
Yeah.
Put in your numbers. Man, we can tell you exactly how to get there, what you need to be doing. And it's on and popping, man.
But you got to put in your numbers.
Yeah, man.
As a matter of fact, why don't we? I'm going to let the receptionist know that anyone who calls, today's Wednesday,
yes.
So for the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday, and says, I want to schedule a GPS appointment to get them on the calendar ASAP.
Financial, it actually tell you what you need to do, how much you need to put away in order to live, to have enough money, with inflation included,
to live to your life expectancy.
Your life expectancy. You won't outlive your money. It will actually tell you. Okay? And it's up to you now. You can follow directions or you can get off path. But it's going to tell you. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If you want to know the truth. LJ, you in there, brother. We got you covered. All right. Tracy, how you doing? Waiting on you, Tracy. Mia, you psychic or something. I don't know. You know, old man.
We love that. We love that for you, Mia. I love that for you. Keep up the great work.
My daughter-in-law, Shay. What's happening, Shay? Who else we got?
Dolores. Yes, I think that's it.
Time is running, huh?
Yes, I need to be on a Zoom in about 4 minutes.
Okay.
So thank you all so much for tuning in. We won't be here next week.
What's next week? Why won't be?
I'm going out of town.
Oh, okay. You got another conference? Oh.
I'm taking my son out of town. Mommy and son trip.
Okay, good.
So we're going out of town. Yes. Does that make it okay?
Yes, it does.
Oh,
my grandson, 12 years old.
Oh, okay. Right. Who was still sleeping when I left the house today.
Yeah. Y'all be seeing them soon. Don't worry.
Make sure you share, like, and follow the Henderson Financial Group. And if you would like to schedule a one-on-one, give us a call, 305-825-1444. Once again, 305-825-1444. The next time you will see a live show on the Henderson Financial Group page is on Saturday.
Yes.
That's right. Saturday at 9 a.m. in the a.m. for the Understanding Money Show. Until then, stay safe and stay sane. Peace.
Peace.